Welcome back to the funding table. I have such a unique episode for you because we are just as curious as you. And we're also trying to figure out what the flock is going on. If you're paying attention, you've seen these things popped up left and right almost overnight, it feels. I know you've seen them on the main streets, in your neighborhoods, and on campuses. They may look innocent, but are they? Who approved these, and why didn't the public know about this? We've seen several online questions all over social media about these things. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and run a special clip of one of my favorite TV shows that kind of goes over this.
You are being watched. The government has a secret system, a machine that spies on you every hour of every day. I know because I built it. I designed the machine to detect acts of terror, but it sees everything.
Now, the scary part is that this felt dystopian a few years ago, but this is slowly becoming our reality. Imagine driving through a nationwide AI surveillance system that's tracking your moves and sharing it instantly. Are you thinking that this isn't going to happen to you? Think again. It's already here. And I'm talking about the $4 million deal involving Flock security systems, surveillance technology, and automated license plate readers. If you don't know exactly what Flock cameras are, Flock Safety is a private surveillance technology company. Their systems are primarily marketed as license plate readers, crime prevention tools, and public safety technology. But these aren't just normal traffic camera guys. These systems can scan license plates automatically, record vehicle movement, identify vehicle characteristics, and connect information across entire regional networks. It can have your exact time, GPS location, even check the amount of cars that you travel with. So like if you're traveling with your sister or traveling with your mom and dad and you guys kind of go together, it tracks that movement and gets that characteristic as well. It'll recognize your travel patterns. And this means that if you pass by one of these camera systems, the camera system's gonna log you, your license plate, your make, your model, if your car has a dent on the car, other specifications and characteristics that regard your vehicle. The company says that its goal is to help law enforcement by finding stolen vehicles, tracking suspects, locating missing persons, and solving crimes faster. We've heard two different arguments. People are like, hey, like if you're not committing crime, you don't have anything to worry about. And then others say it's a big violation on privacy, and this is how mass surveillance gets approved. And a lot of people are advocating that these security systems are becoming a lot bigger than just license plate readers, and instead into something far much larger. A growing AI-powered surveillance network capable of tracking movements and patterns of ordinary citizens. The concern isn't just about catching criminals. The concern is who's controlling it? Where is everything being controlled? Has it been abused? Will it be abused? Who has access to this? How is it being stored? And what happens when the surveillance infrastructure keeps expanding? Because we all know that historically, surveillance systems rarely shrink. They grow, and you know what's gonna be next? Data centers coming to a place near you. All right, and now I know what you wanna know. How many are out here? How many have you seen? How many have I seen? Let's go ahead and take a look to see exactly how many cameras are up and operating as of today. Now take a look. These Flock cameras include Flock license plate readers, surveillance camera systems, AI-assisted monitoring tools, integration into the city's real-time crime center, and some cameras include gunshot detection sensors called Raven systems. In 2026, the city approved an expansion deal worth a little bit over $4 million on Flock safety and related surveillance systems. According to the reports, the systems are intended to help with investigating stolen vehicles, monitoring vehicle-related crimes, identifying suspect within a 2-block radius for those that have those Raven sensors already in place, and improve police response time. It's supposed to do all of this stuff. Now, I know you're asking the $1 million question. Who approved it and why? So according to the Laredo City Council agenda and minutes archive, I was able to find exactly who approved it, how much was approved, and so on. And it looks like the mayor and 8 of the councilmen that represents the district approved this with little discussions and little objections. In the Laredo City Council agenda and minutes, I was able to find all of the details, receipts, and so on. Now, how does a $4 million surveillance expansion pass without major public conversation? City leaders justified the system primarily as an anti-theft tool, a crime prevention system, and a public safety investment. And to be fair, vehicle theft and organized crime are serious crimes and real issues. But the public argues that public safety should never eliminate public accountability. Many people only learn about the contracts until after they're approved. And at that, you have to go and search for it. Now let's follow the money. The reported flock related agreement approved by the city totaled approximately $4,042,599.40, plus another $154,600 for additional license plate readers. So altogether, more than $4.1 million connected to surveillance technology. And this wasn't described as a one-time purchase. The agreement reportedly includes a multi-year payments all the way up to 2029. And the annual subscription for these flock security systems is expected to be a little over $1 million annually. That's their subscription fee. That means that the city and Laredo Police Department have committed itself to years of ongoing financial obligation tied to this system. Now, officials have emphasized that this money is coming solely from the Auto Theft Task Force Fund and grant funds. But here's the one thing that people are excluding from the conversation. When I searched up the documents, I was able to see that the city documents show that yes, they're getting grants from the state of Texas, but it does require for the city to match funds as well. So matched funds are involved. So while the funding may not come from a single property tax increase, it is coming from the city. A little over $1.5 million of local taxpayer dollars is still part of the equation for fiscal year 2025 and 2026. These are the match funds required by the state for these grants. Now, since we know that it's not just grant funds from the state of Texas, did the city ever tell anybody? I mean, I know they didn't tell me, but did they tell you? Did the councilman tell you? I mean, that's a big issue. We're talking about transparency about these things that are being funded. I mean, it's a $4.1 million expansion of surveillance systems. After reviewing public records is when I really found out what was going on. There was very little coverage on social media, very little coverage on the news about the surveillance expansion. I didn't see any major Facebook announcements, dedicated public explanations, direct outreach, or any social media discussions talking about the $4.1 million deal to the residents. Because transparency isn't just about technically posting an agenda online. Transparency means making sure that the residents understand what's going on, how much does it cost, what rights are being affected, and what are the long-term consequences. Some residents now feel that this was pushed quietly without meaningful public engagement. And whether that was the intention or not, that is the perception. And that perception matters. You know, when it's time for voting to happen, you get to hear from your councilman all of a sudden, but nobody thought to send out something on their Facebook page. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's that difficult to do. And as I kept looking, I also went and looked up the patent for these flock system cameras because they are US patent. And based on the patent technology that they patent, the flock safety surveillance cameras offers object detection, person classification, searchable image database, cross-camera tracking, demographic analysis, and facial recognition data points. Now, people may say that facial recognition is not being used right now, but the cameras already have this embedded in them. So at any moment, this can happen. And who's to say this isn't already happening? These mass surveillance system cameras are pretty impressive. And what's crazy is that it's not being talked about. So what can we do? If you want to do anything, make sure that you call your district leaders and ask them, what's going on with this? Why was it approved? And even if they don't change the course immediately, public pressure creates accountability and your comments matter. And when you call, ask them for data retention policies, camera locations, audit procedures, access logs, privacy safeguards, and vendor contracts. And also, don't be too nice. Ask the harder questions. How long is the data stored? Who can have access to it? Is facial recognition involved now or planned later on? Can outside agencies access the system? What oversight exists? And who's to say that this private company doesn't sell this information out to the highest bidder? And finally, stay informed because surveillance systems tend to expand gradually. One approval becomes another. Temporary programs become permanent infrastructures. Whether you support or oppose these systems, transparency is important. And you should absolutely demand transparency before expansions continue. According to the city of Laredo, the next regular council meeting is set to happen Monday, June 1st, 2026, unless otherwise changed. So please pause this video and add it to your calendar and show up and ask these questions before it just gets out of hand here in Laredo. But everyone should agree on one thing, that the public deserves to know when multi-million-dollar contracts are being approved in the city of Laredo for mass surveillance cameras. Please share this with all of your family and friends so that everyone can ask, what the flock is going on? Until next time, guys.